We are just figuring out what we need to take with us because we're going to be doing an overnight hike in one of the canyons. So we have just made it to the Roman Amphitheater, and just walking towards it is insane. Hey everyone, we're Hannah and Jonny. For the past 3 years, we've been exploring in our self-built camper van. After loving life on the road, we realised it was time to find a place that feels like home, a perfect base for our adventures. With new adventures on the horizon, we're excited to see where this next chapter takes us. Join us each week as we continue to find new adventures.
Good morning everybody, and welcome to day 2 of our Jordan adventure. It's another beautiful day here in the city of Amman, and we are up nice and early because we have a full day worth of adventures planned, and then later on we're going to be leaving Amman to explore the rest of Jordan. We've made our way up to the Citadel here in Amman this morning, and we've just had a guide show us around the whole of the complex. It's absolutely fascinating. They first settled here about 9,000 years ago, and they've had Romans here, they've had Greeks, they've had early Islam settlers here, and they've all kind of built on top of each other. So you've got Roman ruins, you've got Islamic ruins, you've got Greek ruins, and we're just going to have a little wander around now and show you all of the different sites. A lot of the ruins here have been restored, so you can get a really good idea of what it was like, and it's just a magnificent 360 viewpoint of the whole of the surrounding area, so it would have been a perfect place to defend themselves from any invaders. And they also used to have a lot of water cisterns up here, so they had water storage, which is now not the case in Jordan. It's a very dry country, but they really knew how to use their resources, especially the Romans who built a lot of the infrastructure, and a lot of that infrastructure is still surviving till today. Big building behind me that I'm just walking out of now used to be a church apparently, and then the Islamic rulers that moved in, they built a administration building over it, so that's what the big dome building behind me is. And then behind me here is where they believe they used to have houses, so the wealthy people would live in these houses. And then just over this side, if we walked around here, is where the Roman baths would have been, and you can still see kind of all the layouts of all that city and the town that was here. And a lot of this has been restored by Spanish restorers, so you can get a really good sense of what that palace would have looked like. And it wasn't a palace for living, and as I said, it was for administration. So yeah, it's really cool to see that.
So this is the highest point of this particular site. It's not the highest point in Amman though, that's just behind us here, but it's a very strategic point. And from here you can see all around, there's 360 views of the city. And in this direction you can actually see the royal palace, and it's got an orange roof and it's surrounded by trees. It looks like a very nice relaxing part of the city. You can also see the newer part of the city, which is where we were staying, and you can see mosques all around, but it's beautiful. All that you can see, all the hills, and you can see for miles. So behind me is the Hercules temple, which is very impressive. There's been a lot of reconstruction of it, so you can see there's newer parts of the limestone within the column, so they've put some of it back together to show you what it would have looked like. But it's very impressive. I don't know how they got all those stones all up there. But there's also some remnants of the actual Hercules statue, which they believe was around 30 meters tall. So there's remnants of his hand and some of his elbow, and they're absolutely massive. So it's very crazy to imagine how big that would have been, and it's very impressive. So we've just come to this viewpoint here, and it's a really good place to actually see the Roman Amphitheater, which is just over there, and it's very well preserved, and they've also done some reconstruction to it also. But that's actually where we're going to be heading next, so we've got a bit of walking to do, and we'll see you there. So we have just made it to the Roman Amphitheater, and just walking towards it is insane how amazing it is. And apparently they still use it today for shows and events, so that's really cool that they still use it. But imagine that back in the day. I mean, so cool. So we just made it inside, oh it's really weird, the auditorium, and it's actually really echoey. So this is like the prime spot to sit, and it sounds like I'm on a microphone right now. So you can hear it all around echoing, and you'd have to be exactly here. So if you're just a little bit to one side, you can't hear your voice being projected.
It's really weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really cool.
We're just working our way now to the top of the amphitheater, and this amphitheater could hold 6,000 spectators, and it was the largest Roman city in Jordan, and they know it was the largest because of the size of the amphitheater, so they typically multiplied the seating capacity of the amphitheater by 10, so to 60,000, and that's what the population of the city would have been. We've just made it to the top of the amphitheater, and it is incredible. I can't believe the Romans were able to build things like this. And just across from the amphitheater we've got the Citadel, to the top of the Citadel over there, that's where we were earlier. And it's just like an incredible view looking down, and I can imagine watching a theatre production or something here would have been really, really cool. We've just come out of the amphitheater now and we're walking along down the street towards the souk, and behind me here is something called the Nymphion, which is a Roman fountain. There is just Roman ruins everywhere here, and as I said earlier, it was the biggest Roman city or town in Jordan, and there's a lot of it still covered and hidden. So we are going to head up north in a few days to see the most preserved Roman town in Jordan. We've just come into the souk now, and it's full of all sorts of produce, and it's all from Jordan. So they've got watermelons that grow in Jordan, which are absolutely massive, and we were just being told that the watermelons that grow, the best watermelons that grow in Jordan, come from actually the driest place, which is really interesting.
So we've just come through the market, and we've just come to Palestine Juice, and it's actually run by the son of the original owner, and he's still serving juice to this day. So Mutaz said that this is one of the best places he brings everyone to get juice, and I've got it now and it feels really cold, so I'm going to try it. Oh, that's so refreshing. It tastes like banana. Don't know what else is in there, but it's really good. So we've just come across, it's one of the most popular bookshops here in Amman.
The oldest.
One of the oldest. And the owner, Abu Ali, who's actually in the pictures just above, he passed away recently, but his family are still running the shop, and the royals would actually come here, buy the books, and they would like converse with the people here. So a lot of people, Mutaz was saying, like even his parents would come here, read books, and like share their knowledge about the books as well. So it's really cool how popular this place is. So we've just come to one of the most famous places to get kanafe, and it's like, basically I think it's like a dessert, so it has cheese underneath, and then it's like a syrup on top with semolina and like a syrup, and it looks like maybe some pistachio nuts on top, but this is apparently one of the best places to try it. So
It's called Habiba.
Pardon?
It's called Habiba.
It's called Habiba, so try this out.
It's a video.
Video.
So we are here doing a cooking class, and we are doing magruba, and it's basically an upside down dish, and Mutaz is helping me. He is sous chef. We've just started. He's helping me with the spices, so we've just started putting the spices in the rice. We've got a dish here with the chicken and aubergine and also some cauliflower, which we cooked earlier because it takes a long time for that to cook. So now we're just putting that all together. Now we're putting this on the fire. We've just added chicken stock, and we're following her to the fire.
Okay.
Now we're onto the vegetables. So we are thinly chopping potatoes, which are called patata, and then we're also doing zucchini, and we're chopping them a little bit more chunks. I love the smell of onion.
Black pepper. Black pepper. Yes. Salt.
Make sure it all gets on there. So we're now putting the aubergine straight onto the fire, so I'm sure it's going to give it a really good taste.
I cut it and cook it. This is not for them. This is special from me for you. Okay?
1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you. That was like my not very good hand. So we have finished our cooking class with Umrim, and we have got an absolute feast. So we've definitely worked an appetite. We've got all sorts of dishes here which we were preparing and we showed you a little bit of earlier. So I think we're gonna dig in now. And we hadn't mentioned where we are, so we're in Beit Sitti, which is the place where we've done the cooking class, and we would highly recommend it. We're outside at the moment as well, and there are panoramic views of the city of Amman. So we're back in the car and we're actually leaving Amman city now, and it was such a good cooking class. There was actually, we forgot to mention, I don't know if Jonny mentioned it already, but there was a picture of Gordon Ramsay, and he had been to visit that place for a cooking class as well. So now we are officially chefs and we're gonna definitely try and recreate some of those dishes, because they have some of the recipes on their website, so we can like try them out. And we're now heading to Azraq, and I think hopefully we'll get there in time for sunset. So we've just arrived at Azraq Lodge, and we are just figuring out what we need to take with us, because we're going to be doing an overnight hike in one of the canyons in Wadi Hassa. So we have got backpacks and we're just figuring out what gear we need to take with us. So we're bringing a tent, and we've got our sleeping bags and a few other bits and bobs, and we're just checking that it all fits in our bags.
In the hotel.
Yeah.
So we don't need to carry
loads of food. Yeah.
We don't need to carry lunch, but we buy fruits and veggies.
Yeah.
To eat on the way, which will be lighter.
Yeah.
Okay. And then when we reach to the camp, we can have like a big meal, which is like full meal. You know, like it's something that would.
Yeah, that's good. We're quite used to not eating lots in the day, so that
During
would be
the day.
perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
We've managed to get all of our bags packed ready for our hike in a few days to the Wadi, which we're really excited about. And we're staying in Azraq Lodge at the moment, which is an ex-British military hospital, which is really cool. And it's part of the Wetlands Nature Reserve, which we're going to be hiking in tomorrow. And we've got about half an hour now before dinner, so I think we're just going to have a bit of chill time and get ready for that.
Very good. We're checking out what we've got for dinner. So we've just come out to dinner, and there is a very lovely selection of food. We've got some salad bread, and we've got some pickles, yogurt, hummus, and then we've got some rice and chicken, and then also like a pasta bake with mushrooms and olives. So it all looks very good. We've just come back from a delicious dinner, and we're feeling pretty tired after a jam-packed day, and we are very excited for the next day. So there's lots more that we're going to be seeing, so stay tuned for the next episode. But that is the end of this one, so if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, let us know in the comments what your favourite bit was, and we'll see you in the next one. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe.
See you tomorrow.